Assalamu alaikum. I am Muhammad Mahmud Hassan, Assistant Teacher, Agriculture, Greenfield School and College. Dear student, how are you? I hope you are well by the grace of Almighty. You know, from today I am going to start the syllabus of third monthly exam. In the third monthly exam syllabus, there are chapter 3 and lesson are 1, 2, 3 and 4. So today I am going to start chapter 3. The title of the chapter 3 is Agriculture and Climate. Do you know what is agriculture? Agriculture is the art and science of cultivating land and rearing poultry and fishes. And do you know what is climate? Climate is the long term weather condition. Long term means at least 30 years or more. So let us start the main topic. Look at this picture. Here there is no water in the land. That means there is drought condition occurs in the land. So no crop is grown here and no leaf in the tree. From this picture we understand that the climate is very vital for our living. If the condition of climate is very bad, we cannot live in the world properly. So we have to adapt with the adverse climatic condition. In this chapter, at first, unfavorable environment, crops with their varieties tolerant to unfavorable weather and their tolerance have been discussed. Thereafter, the influence of climate change on the production of crops, fishes and livestock and poultry have been discussed. At the last part of this chapter, the adaptation mechanism of crops, fishes and livestock and poultry to climate change have been discussed. At the end of this chapter, we will able to describe the characteristic of crop varieties tolerant to stress condition, explain the importance of crops tolerant to stress condition, describe the influence of climate change on agriculture, crop, fish and livestock and poultry. We have discussed about what is agriculture. In agriculture, you know that there are some crops, fishes, livestock and poultry. So these are the component of agriculture. We can evaluate the influence of climate change on agriculture. We can also describe the adaptation mechanism of crops, fishes, livestock and poultry to climatic change. And when the chapter will be finished, we can evaluate the necessity of adaptation of crops, fishes, livestock and poultry to climatic change. So let us start the main chapter, that means lesson 1, section 1. Section 1, the topic of section 1 is crops and crop varieties tolerant to adverse weather. In this section, we will just discuss about some crops that are tolerant to adverse weather. Their characteristics is the main theme of this chapter. We have learned about unfavorable environment and stress weather in class 8. In Bangladesh, there exists different unfavorable stress weather in different time in the year due to climate change. Very poor or low, comparatively lower cool in winter, very high temperature, drought, salinity, flood or water shortage in summer are unfavorable or stress weather for crop production in Bangladesh. You know that when rain is required for cultivation, rain does not happen in our country. But when rain is not needed, rain of, rain is not needed, rain comes heavily and it makes flood. So Bangladesh faces adverse climatic condition year after year. But we have to survive, we have to grow crop in this adverse situation. So we have to cultivate adverse climate tolerant crops. If we have no proper management practices earlier to face these conditions, they can cause severe yield loss. The prerequisites for crop production under unfavorable or stress environment is to select suitable crops or crop varieties to different unfavorable or stress environment. In the meantime, scientists of Bangladesh have developed new varieties of many crops tolerant to unfavorable environment, and they are still continuing their research regarding this aspect. Now we shall discuss on different crops or crop varieties tolerant to different unfavorable or stress environment. What is a stress environment? Salinity is a stress environment. Drought is also a stress environment. Even if we have heavy rainfall and flood situation, then it will also be a stress environment. Stress is not means a lack of something. Stress is also meaning the excessive of something. Excessive of something may cause some stress environment. Suppose we have excessive wind, then it will we will say it storm. Excessive wind is called a storm, but and excessive water, we called excessive water as flood. So excessive is not good, or lack of something is not also good. Now, crop tolerant to cool weather. Duration from November to February is the season in Bangladesh. The lowest minimum temperature in winter exists in January or February. That means in January or February, winter season happens in Bangladesh. And in winter season, many crops are grown. And the average temperature in winter season is 24 to 28 degrees Celsius. It is the maximum. 24 to 28 degrees Celsius is the maximum, but average temperature is 7 degree to 15 degree Celsius. Mainly in our country, the higher intensity and duration of coolness increase the yield of winter crops like potato and wheat. If we want to grow potato and wheat, we have to sow the seeds in the winter season, because it is a winter crop, and these crops are tolerant to winter, tolerant to cold. So um, so potato and wheat are called winter crop. Now, but cool, that is low temperature during pollination and grain formation in transparent transplant almond rice and boro rice causes higher unfilled grains, thereby decreases yield. That means in almond, transplant almond means before planting to the main field, transplanted almond, we have to make some seed bed for the transplanted almond, and we have to uproot the seedling from the seed bed and sow the seeds in the main field. This is called transplanted almond. And on the other hand, broadcasted almond is very easy to understand. We have to spread the seed directly to the main field. But in transplant almond, we have to grow seedling in the seed bed and then transplant the seed bed to the main field. So in the transplanted almond and boro rice, pollination and grain formation occurs in cool weather. But if the if cool weather occurs, very cool weather occurs in this situation, the yield will decrease. So fluctuation of temperature may cause hamper of pollination. This period, if temperature falls below 20 degrees Celsius and exists for several days, yield is reduced drastically. For this reason, it is necessary to sow seeds or transplant almond seedling in proper time. The characteristics of two varieties of rice tolerant to cool weather are described below. The first variety is Bridhan 36. BRI means Bangladesh Rice Research Institute. Bangladesh Rice Research Institute focuses on rice cultivation and development. The variety was released by National Seed Board as Bridhan 36 in 1998. This variety is an early variety for boro season, having 90 to 95 centimeter height, 140 to 145 days life cycle, and 5.0 to 5.5 tons per hectare yield. This variety is very suitable for those areas where temperature exists below 15 degrees Celsius during seed sowing. The another variety is Bridhan 55. This variety was released in 2011. The height of this early and high yielding variety is 100 centimeter, and average yield is 7 tons per hectare in boro and 4.5 tons per hectare in out season. Since this variety can tolerate moderate cool temperature in boro season, it can be cultivated in cool prone areas. That means the areas of Bangladesh where temperature decreases rapidly in cool season, that means winter season. Besides, this variety can also be tolerate salinity and drought. Can tolerate salt, salinity and drought. The life cycle of this variety is 145 days. That means very long, 145 days in Boro season and 100 days in our season. Now, crops tolerant to drought. There are some crops that are tolerant to drought condition. That means, what is drought? If there is no rain in 20 days or more in dry season, then the condition is called drought. We know that without rainfall or scarcity of rainfall causes soil water deficit. Therefore, it causes water deficit in plants. This condition is called drought condition. Yearly, 30 to 40 lakh agriculture and climate 73 hectare of lands face drought in different levels of Rabi, Kharif 1 or Kharif 2 seasons in our country. That means our country faces some land droughtiness. The amount of that land is 30 to 40 lakh, and somewhere it is 73 hectares. Consequently, it causes 15 to 90% yield loss depending on the intensity of drought. Now, we have learned elaborately about the technologies of crop cultivation under drought prone areas in class 8. Among those technologies, most effective one is to cultivate drought tolerant crops or crop varieties in drought prone areas. Generally, the roots of drought tolerant crops are heavy, highly branched, and deep. The leaves of those crops are small, narrow, thick, or twisted. Date, jujube, or watermelon. Some wheat varieties, etc., are drought tolerant crops. Now we shall discuss about some important drought tolerant crop varieties. Drought tolerant crop rice variety Bridhan 56. The first variety is Bridhan 56. This variety is released in 2011 for transplant almond rice season. Its plant height is 115 centimeter and life cycle is 105 to 110 days. Yield is not reduced remarkably if there is no rainfall for 10 to 21 days at the reproductive stage. Reproductive stage means flowering stage. This variety yields 3.5 to 4 tons per hectare under drought condition and 4.5 to 5 tons per hectare under without drought condition. Now the another crop variety is Bridhan 57. This variety is also released for transplant almond season. Plant height is 110 to 115 centimeter, same as 56, Bridhan 56. If life cycle and the life cycle is 100 to 105 days. Yield does not reduce remarkably if there is no rainfall for 8 to 15 days at the reproductive stage. This variety yields 3 to 3.5 tons per hectare under drought condition and 4 to 4.5 tons per hectare under without drought condition. Since the life cycle of Bridhan 56 and Bridhan 57 is shorter, they can avoid drought simultaneously with Tolerant. Now, and thanks for watching this video. In the next class, you will you will know about some more tolerant rice varieties on different climatic conditions. Thanks for watching.